Hi, you are watching The Grow Show. I'm your host, Kendall Fisher, and today I am with the legendary Bernie Williams. Thank you so much for coming today and joining us here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to talk about, you've had plenty of growth moments in your life, but I want to talk about, you were discovered by the Yankees at age 16 and officially drafted at age 17. That is really young. How did you overcome the challenges of leaving your family, leaving your home, moving to New York?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. At the end of the day, I'd make the best out of the situation that I had. I was drafted, like you said, at 16, signed at 17, and for me, it was more about establishing myself as a baseball player, creating things that I could go back to for my training. Patterns of behavior that I would establish, some commitment to work hard every day. As a young player, it is really important to establish those things earlier in your career, and you just kind of go from there. So that process took a while because I was by myself, and basically a kid out of high school, and that was really hard. But it made me grow up very fast, having the opportunity to deal with people and deal with situations that most adults would be into.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of that, what quality did you take, or what characteristics did you learn in those years that you've now used throughout your entire life?
Perseverance, my commitment to excellence, I'd be the best player that I could be at the time, and my ability to make adjustments. From adversity, from situations, be able to sort of have this malleable mindset that I could make adjustments and it still make the best out of every situation.
Yeah, and those are characteristics that businesses, entrepreneurs, people who are starting their own businesses can also use,
Absolutely.
Just because you're playing sports doesn't mean it doesn't apply across the board, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What work brings you the most joy today? Obviously after baseball, what's your biggest joy in life kind of that falls into that workspace?
Well, I think doing charity work, I think, in my case, I am a prime example on how, having arts and music in my life as a young kid, I was able to make those connections in life and actually take all that and apply it to my training and all the things that I did later on as a baseball player. So I believe that every kid should have that opportunity to be, at least, if they choose to have the opportunity to be exposed to arts and music and all that. So I'm very adamant about, going to Capitol Hill and, speaking on behalf of, arts and music education and being an advocate for that.
Right. So, and you're creating music now.
Absolutely,
And that's awesome. So what does the future hold for Bernie Williams? What can we expect out of you in the next 5 years?
Wow, that's a really interesting question.
Or whenever. What can we expect in the future?
Well, I think, in the long run, I would try to or keep working on my music, dexterity, because that's the one thing that I could say that I would never be ever really, really perfect at. And it's something that keeps me striving for, that perfection. And along the way, I find myself being, a pretty good guitar player nowadays. I've had an opportunity to go back to college, graduate from the Manhattan School of Music with a degree in jazz performance. So I'm joining the ranks of the unemployed musicians in New York City.
Well, that's great. We can't wait to see what you have coming. You're growing with us here at The Grow Show, and we appreciate you coming in here today and meeting with us. So
thank you so much.
Thank you, Bernie.